Pure Evil by Liberty Hangout. The new rule, progressivophobia.
And finally, new rule from now on, when Joe Biden veers off into one of his long-winded stories that seem to be off topic, everyone must realize he usually does have a point.
But those of you who are over 50, how often did you ever see advertisements on television with black and white couples?
Advertisements.
I challenge you, find today, when you turn on the stations, sit on one station for 2 hours.
Joe Biden should talk about how like, you know, they keep saying Billie Eilish is queer baiting Jack. Back in my day, lovely ladies could look lovely with their friends at a girls' night out. You turn on the television and you'd see an advertisement with Billie Eilish.
And I don't know how many commercials you'll see. Play 8 to 5. 2 to 3 out of 5 have mixed race couples in them.
I'm going to tell you. I know it sounds kind of out of left field, but actually Uncle Joe is pointing liberals towards something they need to be more aware of. They have a bad case of progressivophobia. That's the phrase coined by Steven Pinker to describe a brain disorder that strikes liberals and makes them incapable of recognizing progress. It's like situational blindness, only what you can't see is that your dorm in 2021 is better than the South before the Civil War.
Okay, so ultimately, are there instances where Zoomers go overboard with their criticisms of the social constructs that they are subjected to? Certainly. Okay. But saying that like progress has already happened, so shut the fuck up about like advocating for further progress is idiotic. Okay, and a more aggressive version of that is utilized by reactionaries daily when they say, oh, slavery has been abolished. Where is the systemic racism? Okay? It's like, this is just like, again, like whenever like some fucking freshman says like, my dorm room, I guess, is as bad as like the Jim Crow South, yeah, they're being fucking ridiculous. But half the time, it's not that at all. Half the time, it's like actually legitimate concerns that people have that could be made better, that could be alleviated, grievances that could be addressed. Okay?
If you think America is more racist now than ever, more sexist than before women could vote, and more homophobic than when blowjobs were a felony, you have progressivophobia and should adjust your mask because it's covering your eyes. You know,
fucking got
before 2012, every time gay marriage was put before a state's voters, it lost 35 times in a row. Now it's the law of the land in every state. Even half of Republicans are for it. The other half are for closeted gay sex. The chant from gay protesters used to be, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Well, we did. This is Pride Month, and it's not even a big deal anymore. 30 days of parades and festivals celebrating a cause that was once so divisive Ellen had to pretend to be straight. State houses fly pride flags now. Disney celebrates it by federal law.
I think this entire argument is built on a faulty premise that like there are liberals who say that the situation is worse. The situation is worse now than it once was. I don't think anyone says that. Like, who the fuck's out there being like, the situation for like a young gay kid is worse now than it was 40 years ago. Like, no one is saying this. That is not a real statement. You are addressing, and this is called a straw man fallacy. you are addressing an argument that no one is making. Why? Because the actual argument that you would have to address would make you look kind of like a fucking asshole. Something that Bill Maher does on a regular basis. There will always be people that want to advocate for further progress. That's how progress happens. Okay? Now, are there instances where that progressive energy is misguided? Certainly. Like in the case when people said Billie Eilish is queer baiting. Why was she queer baiting? Because she had an all-girls night out in a music video where she didn't even do anything sexual in the music video. And she captioned the promotion of her music video with, "I love girls." That's not fucking queer baiting. Okay? It's not. That's not fucking queer baiting. That's ridiculous. Hyper focusing on that, or hyper focusing on like Billie Eilish not doing a fucking, I don't know, full-blown PR analysis on like what her current boyfriend tweeted in 2011 on fucking Facebook, a platform that Zoomers don't even know exists, is ridiculous. And it's also not exactly a progressive cause at all. But if gay people are saying, hey, trans people are getting murdered and that's fucking not cool, or trans people are still not accepted, or that so many anti-trans legislation is passing in Republican areas because trans people are still seen as like as a way to like galvanize the reactionary base, then that's an incredibly legitimate position to hold on to. And looping that in with the other ridiculous shit is fucking stupid. Okay? So I don't like it when Bill Maher engages in this kind of attitude, like as though it's not a legitimate problem. Okay? No, I don't mean Puerto Rican analysis. I mean public relations analysis. Okay? How did he tweet on Facebook? He didn't tweet on Facebook. He posted on Facebook. They found his Facebook statuses.
Every single TV show must include a storyline about lesbians having a baby. If someone announces they're gay on TV, it's met with thunderous applause. My accountant says Yas Queen.
Oh my God. He's such a boomer, dude. This is such a fucking boomer take. Oh, dude, your accountant says Yas Queen? I guess that's it, dude. Hey, queer kid that got kicked out of your home, or gay couples that are having a hard time adopting in certain in certain areas. My accountant in Los Angeles says Yas Queen. So how about you shut the fuck up? Hey, are you a trans kid trying to survive high school and not get fucking bullied, beaten up by adults, by the way, not just fucking your peers? Well, my accountant in LA says Yas Queen, so guess you're fine now. Why are you fine? Oh, because Shake Shack had a bunch of old gays promote their new shake for Pride Month.
You literally can't find a major American corporation that doesn't do something for Pride Month. NASCAR does it. Raytheon.
Okay, that's kind of wild.
Maker of high-tech lethal weaponry that kills people from the sky does it. And I hear next year they're going to paint "You Go Girl" on the side of their missile.
Bro, how aren't you looking at this from a comedic lens? It's kind of funny. You're doing the left is no laugh thing. I don't like Bill Maher. I don't think he's funny. I've made these jokes in a better way already a million times over. Raytheon, more like Gaytheon, got him, is like, you know, one of many jokes that I have made about the situation. The problem is, the problem with Bill Maher is that, like, he doesn't recognize that these commodifications of, like, social justice causes are not necessarily causes for progress. He's literally approaching it from the opposite side, saying corporations love pink washing, and that's a sign for progress. In some ways it is, because obviously, like, if you can commoditize, queer culture and shit like that, that means that we're at a certain level of progress and it's great. But that doesn't mean that, progress has to be halted. Also, I love edgy comedy. And if you think that, like, I have, I don't routinely defend edgy comedians, even ones with, like, actually fucking problematic or even bigoted takes from time to time, then I don't know what to tell you.
And it's not just LGBT issues. Not that long ago, I knew people who went to prison for growing pot. And today you can legally smoke it for fun in 43% of the country, and I will. Even something like bullying, it still happens, but being outwardly cruel to people who are different is no longer acceptable. That's progress. And acknowledging progress isn't saying we're done or we don't need more, and being gloomier doesn't make you a better person. In 1958, only 4% of Americans approved of interracial marriage. Now, Gallup doesn't even bother asking. The last time they did, in 2013, 87% approved. An overwhelming majority of Americans now say they want to live in a multiracial neighborhood. That is a sea change from when I was a kid. In a country that's 14% black, 18% of the incoming class of Harvard is black, and since 2017, white students are not even a majority in our public colleges. Employees of color make up 47% of Microsoft, 50% of Target, 55% of The Gap, as companies become desperate to look like their TV commercials.
Yo, that's crazy, dude. That's wild. First of all, that's like pretty fucking racist to say. Because the underlying assumption there is that, like, those people don't deserve to be in those positions. And one, it's literally retail work. Like, he's referencing retail work. Like, what percentage of fucking executives are non-white, if that's the argument that you want to make? And secondly, like, holy fuck, that is like the hidden underlying assumption there is that, like, white people should be more than the majority there because it's the majority of the population. But these companies are like, trying to diversify their worker force. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? That's a wild take, dude. Oh, God, he's so fucking cringe. Yo, boomers are terrible. It means black people occupy a disproportionate amount of low-paying jobs. Yeah, literally. Like, oh, shit, dude. I didn't realize that, I didn't fucking realize that, Target hiring a lot of non-white people, like a 50% non-white people, was, for their fucking low-end, like, retail jobs, was a sign for progress. I didn't realize that.
The Friends reunion we just had looked weird. Because if you even suggested a show today about 6 people, all of whom were straight and white, the network would laugh you out of the room and then cancel you on Twitter.
What? Okay. That's just not fucking true. What the fuck is he saying? Like, that's literally not true. What the fuck? And even then, like, I'm not even the type of person who's like, wow, there's no fucking black representation in this movie or that movie or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, But like, this is when like the anti-SJW motherfuckers like literally turn into the worst woke lords. You know what I mean? They like hyper focus on like cultural depictions like this, like Friends at what? There aren't no shows like Friends anymore with like 6 whites. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what's the take here, dude? Do you want to have shows with exclusively white people again? Like, what? Like, why are you crying about it? I don't get it. I guess he's saying it's a sign of progress because Hollywood is like over the top diverse now. Like, what the fuck? This is like one step. You know what this is? This is the boomer version of like, this is the boomer version of like crying about having like a black female lead in a show or in a video game. You know how gamers say like, God damn it, this shit's so political. When there's like a black woman leading a fucking video game. This is the Bill Maher boomer version of that, but for TV shows. It's so stupid. It also engages in Italian X erasure because you know, Joey is Italian, so it's kind of fucked up. I won't get into that though. Y'all are not ready for that conversation, okay? A thread.
And yet there is a recurrent theme on the far left that things have never been worse. Kevin Hart expressed a view many hold when he told the New York Times, "You're witnessing white power and white privilege at an all-time high." This is one of the big problems with wokeness, that what you say doesn't have to make sense or jibe with the facts or ever be challenged, lest the challenge itself be conflated with racism. But saying white power and privilege is at an all-time high.
Did he just say Kevin Hart is far left? Like, I'm confused. Is he just basically saying Kevin Hart is far left because he's black? Like, what's next, bro? Is he going to be like Louis Farrakhan, far leftist? Noted far leftist Louis Farrakhan said. What the fuck? Kevin Hart literally got canceled for refusing to apologize for some shit. What was it? Homophobia or fucking some shit? I don't remember what it was. Like, what the fuck was it? Was it gay jokes? Yeah. Oh, he said like, if my son is gay, like I'll beat it out of him or something. And he implied that his son, if he played with a dollhouse, would be gay or some shit. That's the far left icon, dude. No, I mean, he got canceled. He's in the new Borderlands. Dude, there is no such thing as a fucking real cancellation. No, Kevin Hart, that was Tracy Morgan. No. Kevin Hart had some homophobic jokes as well. Technically, he just said Kevin, quote, resonates strongly with the far left. Not that he himself is far left. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Higher than a century ago.
He didn't even cancel. He canceled himself from the Oscars. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He literally used that to... He used that as a point to be like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm bold and brave. Once again, you've changed your opinion on something within a week. Big surprise, Mr. Inconsistent. On what? Wait, what? You were pro-Israel in 2018? Oh, fucking idiot, dude. All right, you know what? I'm banning this guy. This is the same guy who was, like, literally trying to bait me. Oh, God. No, yeah, to, like, click on some dumbass link.
The year of the Tulsa Race Massacre? Higher than the years when the KKK rode unchecked and Jim Crow went unchallenged? Higher than the 1960s when the Supremes and Willie Mays still couldn't stay in the same hotel as the
I'm
white
like
people?
worried that I'm worried that he's gonna show like fucking footage and shit. Okay, not a single person is saying that it's worse now than it was back then. Okay, I don't think anyone's saying that. Yes, they are. Who? I think the only people that say it's worse now than it was back then are white people. I feel like you're doing semi-mental gymnastics. Like what? In what respect? Kevin Hart is? Duh. What? Him saying white privilege is at an all-time high? Does he even mean it? Like, does he? I think he probably means like in general. Like with Donald Trump being president or some shit. I don't think Kevin Hart is even dumb enough to fucking say that, like, he said white power. It's a relative statement. He probably means with respect to like our lifetimes or some shit. All of Twitter says that. No one says that. When I speak of white privilege, I'm speaking of, yeah, I mean, this is a true take. When I speak of white privilege, I'm speaking of the moments that make no sense. For example, the storming of the Capitol. If they were black, they would have been killed on the spot. I mean, he's right. We say it's bad today, and white people love to go, well, what about when back then? It can be viewed as worse now because of the level of institutional corruption. Shit, we're trying to figure out how to apply laws to cops in this country. I'm actually confused, guys. Motherfuckers be like, oh, this account with like 12 followers on Twitter said it's worse to be black now than it was in the 60s. And then you fucking latch onto that because it's like hyperbolic and it subscribes to your worldview, I guess, that like black people are being ridiculous or something with like genuine criticism that they talk about on a daily basis, which you fucking literally avoid. Like there is a sea of actionable criticisms, but you choose to fucking avoid all of that. And then you look to like one fucking person who says they're black on Twitter. And you're like, oh, dude, that's it. I got him again. I literally got him again, dude. Fucking found him, dude. Remember when you said that people should wear masks and then the CDC said that vaccinated people no longer have to wear masks and you change your opinion? Hello, Mr. Flip-Flop. True. Black people. This is good. Black actors be like, racism nowadays is bad. And motherfuckers like Bill will bring up pictures of whites only hotels. How is this any different than like, literally, how is this any different than just being like, shut up, black person. Racism no longer exists. We abolish slavery. MLK, why don't you shut the fuck up? Whites abolish slavery, MLK. How about you thank the whites for the abolition of slavery? Anyway. He's not saying it doesn't exist. He's saying that people are improving when it comes to their terrible biases. Yeah, I understand that. And I'm pretty sure everyone who's fucking criticizing what's going on right now with respect to racism also recognizes that it's better, but that doesn't mean that there aren't areas of improvement. So if you hear understandable criticism such as, you know, white supremacy is kind of popping off lately, we need to dial it back, and your response is, the fuck do you mean? White supremacy's popping off. Fuck you. Look at this whites only hotel. That is only a demonstration of your fragility. And also how wild you are personally.
They were working with, higher than during slavery. And I mean actual slavery, not Prince doesn't like his record contract slavery. Racism is still, unfortunately, still with us.
I mean, 360 deals are incredibly predatory and target, like, you know, target poor, young, black artists all the time. Even the audience didn't want to fucking... Even the audience didn't want to clap for that one. They were like, come on.
Have the footage in policing, housing, job discrimination, segregated schools, wealth inequality. The legacy of injustice sadly lives on and demands remedial action. I understand as best I can how racism singes a person's soul so much that they might see it everywhere. But seeing clearly is necessary for actually fixing problems. And clearly, racism is simply no longer everywhere. It's not in my home, and it probably isn't in yours, if I read my audience right, and I think I do. For most of the country, the most unhip thing you could ever be today is a racist. Even Derek Chauvin was not backed up by his fellow officers, and that never used to happen. The low point of race relations wasn't Kim Kardashian.
What the fuck, dude? Dude, are you kidding me? Dude, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Yo, he's so old. Racism doesn't exist because Derek Chauvin wasn't backed by the rest of the fucking police force, dude. It's great. You know, after he did a fucking murder caught in 4K, but
Kardashian wearing cornrows, even though it happened on Snapchat and George Wallace standing in a doorway didn't. Because here's the thing, kids. There actually was a world before you got here.
what the
We date human events, AD and BC, but we need a third marker for millennials and Gen Z. BY, before you.
I mean, this is just textbook, like, conservative rhetoric. That's it. Like, that's all this is like, come on, we've done enough progress. Just stop. Just stop demanding more. Like, think about how much progress happened before. Like, if his argument was that progress is inevitable, but it unfortunately takes time and a lot of effort. And we always have to remember, like, the blood, sweat, and tears that went that went into that progress happening. You know what I mean? Like, then that's fine. That's an understandable approach. And that, like, sometimes we have a tendency to go too far or misdirect our anger from in a very individualistic point of view, right? That's an understandable take because it's a true take and it does happen. But that's not what Bill Maher is saying. Bill Maher literally is just like, come on, progress happened before you. Shut the fuck up. Come on. Like, it happened already. Yeah, like, chill out. Don't ask for more. Which is really fucking stupid. You know? Progress is inevitable, though, so at least you can be happy about that. Kind of like the top of the hour ad break that's inevitable. At the top of the hour, there's always a 60-second ad break. And if you'd like to no longer see the ad in that top of the hour ad break, well, you could do a couple things. One is, of course, using an ad block or potentially using a VPN or something. Another thing you can do is subscribe. You can do that for $5, or you can subscribe for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get one free Prime subscription a month, so you can use that. But here's the ad break now. I got you good. Okay, I gotta pee.
It's telling that in a recent Harvard youth poll of Americans between 18 and 29, 72% of blacks said they were hopeful about the future of America, as compared to only 46% of whites. I'm not surprised. There are a hell of a lot of Americans trying really hard these days to embrace a new spirit of inclusion and self-reflection, and this progressive allergy to acknowledging societal advances is self-defeating, because progress and hope that we can achieve it is the product we're selling. And having a warped view of reality leads to policies that are warped. Black-only dorms and graduation ceremonies, a growing belief in whiteness as a malady and white people as irredeemable, giving up on a colorblind society. Only if you believe we've made no progress does any of that make sense. I can name some things that actually are worse than they've ever been before, like the environment and homelessness in LA and the prospects for maintaining an actual democracy in America. But where progress has been made, it's not a sin, and it's certainly not inaccurate to say, we've come a long way, baby. Not mission accomplished, just a long way.
So what's the difference between...
I can't believe I missed the incredible climax of that brilliant video. I assume it was great. Dude, he's so smug. So here's the thing. He's so fucking smug and unlikable to anyone under the age of like 45 that watching him kind of is like Boo Boo Bennett. You know how Boo Boo Bennett like accidentally, by being a fucking loser, turns people to the left?